Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining. So today I kind of have a little vent. And basically what was on my mind is sometimes I feel like I'm too aware. Okay, so I pride myself on being aware. I pride myself on looking at things in an esoteric way, an esoteric mind. You know, I know that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, right? This is temporary, right? This is temporary. We have a beginning and we have an end date, right? And what we do in the middle is kind of like decisions and, well, I don't know, some of you may think fate or will or meant to be or destiny. I go back and forth on that. But today, you know, I just got out of work and I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm too aware. And what I mean by that is I feel like when you know you're in a system and you know everything is BS and it's all a rat race. Okay, let me back up. So I believe that we have been conditioned to live this life. We've been conditioned to go to school, to get a job, retire. And mind you, they just increased the retirement age to 67. So I guess you can retire earlier than that, but if you retire before that, then you do not get your full benefits. And I don't know if you don't get your full benefits forever or until you're actually 67, which is insane. So anyway, I digress. So basically, we're conditioned to go to school, get a job, get old, and then maybe you can have a life of your own after everything. And in this economy, who knows if that is going to actually manifest, right? And so when you're sitting back and you're working and you're just going through life and you realize like, damn, like they literally programmed us to just be like these robots, worker bees, right? And I've spoken on this before, and it's just so interesting when you kind of take a step back and you're like, damn, we are really on a hamster wheel. We have really been programmed. Like, for example, even money. You guys, money doesn't really exist. And I know some of you are going to be like, yeah, whatever, my bills are due the first of the month. I get that. But I mean that, okay, back in the day, money used to be backed by gold. So all the money, there used to be gold that backed the money. Now gold does not back the money. The only thing that backs the money is our idea that this $100 bill is worth $100 bill, right? This is worth that. It's only backed by you and me agreeing that this money is worth this. But if you and me were like, you know what, F it, then it would be worthless. It would literally be worthless. You know what I mean? So it's like they programmed us to believe the whole concept of money, the whole concept of beauty. You know, in other cultures, I don't know the name of the culture, but they have like the necklaces, right? So the longer your neck is, well, like necklaces, right? And it like kind of lengthens your neck. So the longer your neck is, like the more beautiful you are. That's their culture. And some cultures, I know there's an Asian culture where if you wrap your feet, you know, the smaller and more petite your feet is, that's like beautiful, right? So our concept of beauty, we have been conditioned that a certain beauty is the standard. And that's just someone saying that this is what they think and this is what it is. And then all of us have been conditioned over the years, like, okay, in Western civilization, this is the standard of beauty, right? Even marriage, relationships. You know, we've been taught, okay, you know what? You date and you get married young, you try to have kids young, and then, you know, you go through life, right? And now people are like, why would we have kids so young? You know, the cool thing is maybe 30s, late 30s, so you can have your life together. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not saying you can have kids at any age, but I'm saying we've been conditioned that, oh, you should have kids at this age, and do it this way, right? So like, it's just, I don't even know if I'm coming across right. I could be coming across crazy. But what I'm trying to say is, when you sit back and think about life and you think about everything we have been conditioned to do, to live, to think, how to think, what to do, it's all made up. It's all made up. It's almost like we really are living in a game, right? People are like, play the game, da 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 da. Like it legit, it's a game. And it's almost like you have to break the rules if you want to be successful, if you want to have a life to call your own. So today, one of the girls on my team, one of the ladies on my team, our manager sent out a message saying that she's going to be retiring at the end of the month. And I was like, oh my gosh, like she made it. She's going to escape. And I just started thinking like, damn, like imagine that. Like imagine, you know, you've worked all your life. And then finally when society says like, it's time, then you like go and actually you're able to wake up and do what you want, and you're able to do all these things. Now, mind you, I don't know her situation or anything like that. I mean, she could have retired. I don't know. I don't know her situation, but I'm just saying like she's retiring. So she like went through all the life steps that they have set up for us, and now she's retiring. And I'm just like, man, I want to retire right now. I'm not 67, I got a while to go, but I want to go now. Like, I want to retire. And I don't know, I guess this vent is all over the place. Please forgive me. I got off of work and I was just like, what are we doing? And I always say this in the thing of like, I get it. I have a job. Like, I'm really grateful and all that. I'm just saying like, it is really interesting how from birth, we were conditioned to think so many things. Like we were conditioned to have 3 meals a day, right? And it's because the nutrition society, whatever, they were trying to sell milk, you know what I mean? So they made cereal a thing. Like, you know, our bodies we don't really need to eat 3 meals a day. You know, we could survive on 1 meal a day. Back in the day, we used to hunt and gather our food, and you ate when you killed something, right? When you were hunting or you're fishing, and you may eat one day and not eat for a couple days and then eat again. You know what I mean? Like, and that was good. It gives your body time to just process everything, cleanse it out. That's why fasting is so amazing and so healthy for your body, because our bodies literally was not meant to eat 3 times a day. Then you have your snacks, you have dessert, you have alcohol, you have this and that. Like, our bodies wasn't meant to do all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been conditioned that, okay, you wake up and you eat breakfast, you break your breakfast, right? You know, you eat this. We've been conditioned in so many ways. Like, our whole life has been conditioned. Our whole life has been a condition of the way you behave, the way you see things, the way you see beauty, the way you interpret love. You know what I mean? Like, who said, you know, love, you're supposed to get a diamond, but the diamond industry, you know, made love and jewelry one. So now, if you don't come with the ring, the girl's like, psh, you better try somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, now we've been conditioned that if the person doesn't get a big old ring, they don't love you. But how do we even get to that point? So everything is like a condition. Everything has been dogma, in my opinion. Everything is dogma. And man, I just got off of work and I was just thinking like, what the heck? So I think in this video, I just want to tell you guys, like, don't be afraid to break the rules, because it's fake anyway. It's been put there to control us, to have us go on a line of what we do and how we do it. Even the 40-hour work week. You guys know that was from the Ford cars and the whole thing of them trying to make more cars. And so they implemented a 40-hour work week and da-da-da-da-da. And now all of us are working 40 hours. Because this guy said, let's work 40 hours so we can get cars, you know, we can increase the volume of productivity. So now we all work 40 hours, or that's the standard, right? So it's like everything is just a condition. Everything is just something that somebody else said, and now we all just do it because we all just been conditioned to do it. So I guess this video, and forgive me in my rant, I know it's kind of all over the place, so forgive me, but I just want to say, like, you guys, don't be afraid to break the rules. It's made up. Don't be afraid to live life for you. You know what I mean? And don't be afraid to go for your dreams, because honestly, like, if anything were to happen, just know that it always works out. I know that's a hard concept for some if you don't really have faith, or if you're scared, or you're operating out of fear. But literally, you guys, everything always works out. Even like when you're like, you want to be in a relationship with a certain person, and then that person rejects you, and then down the line you realize like they were Looney Tune, and you're just like, whew, thank God I didn't end up with him or her. You know what I mean? Like, everything always works out, even if we don't see it at the present moment. So I don't know. I just had to come vent because I was like, oh my God, this is so made up. This is insane. But yeah, you guys, so I don't know. Please forgive me. I know I'm everywhere, but I think my message for this video is go for it. Everything is made up. Everything is made up. And so with that being said, make up your own rules. Do whatever you want to do. Figure it out, and figure out how to get off the hamster wheel so you can live life. Figure out how you can get off the hamster wheel so you can live life. I'm telling you, and to my people, I'm at a big age, right? I wish that I learned a lot of things when I was 10. Younger, where I was able to implement. But, there are so many different resources nowadays where you really have options. So I would say people of all ages, whatever your background is, like, use all the resources that you can have at your disposal to be able to get out of the hamster wheel. Even YouTube, like I always say, go on YouTube University. You can learn everything on YouTube. You do not have to buy a course. Everything, all the information that you need is free somewhere. Sometimes you may have to work a little bit for it. You may have to figure it out. You may have to get a mentor. You may have to do something, but it's out there. It's out there. Sometimes you need a little elbow grease, but do whatever you have to do, because I'm telling you guys, even if you love your job, one day you're gonna want to wake up and do whatever you want to do. Okay, so I always talk about financial literacy and things like that. So this is a perfect time to figure out what you need to do to move forward, what you need to do to maneuver, right? Write out your bills, write out your income, write out what you can pay off. Like, really take the action to plan so you're not going to be in retirement age and still have to work. You guys, I just saw a video they did like an expose of a ton of retirement individuals who should be retired, and they were working like odd jobs, and they were pretty much saying they may have to work forever. And I was just like, that kind of broke my heart, because I was like, damn, like, just imagine you're 70, 75, like, even if you're able-bodied, I'm sure you do not want to work. You know what I mean? You want to be in your garden, or you want to do things that actually make you happy. And mind you, I get it. Sometimes people want to work because it kind of gives them purpose or something to do. But that's kind of like those optional situations, right? Where they don't have to, but they do it just so they can have something to do. I'm talking about having to work in your 80s, 90s, 70s, like as a necessity. Like, you need to, and you do not want that. So I don't care how old you are, if you're 30, 40, 50, I don't even care. Like, whatever age you are, it's never too late. It's never too late. Actually, that's one thing I wanted to say too. You guys, don't give yourself a hard time if you're a late bloomer. And I mean that in every way. I mean late bloomer if you feel like you didn't get your looks until later. I feel like I was not cute until later in life, like later. But I say that also in financial, like if you feel like you should have made so much money then and now you're older, like sometimes the best things come later in life, and that's for everything. So even if you're 40, you don't have a plan right now, let's get your plan together, baby. Right? 45, I don't care how old you are, it's never too late to start, but you have to take action, right? Have to take action, move on it, write your goals down. Like I always say, like write it with a pencil or a pen, like write it on real paper. and I always say that just because when you write it down, it gets into your subconscious mindset better. And then you actually start believing it because you're writing it, and then as you write it, you're supposed to speak it. You're supposed to repeat it. So that's kind of like an affirmation to yourself. It's a whole thing. But I guess my whole thing is just like when you're aware of the system, you just have to play the game better. Unfortunately. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, it is a game and they got us. Not for long. We're in the Matrix, but we're about to escape the Matrix. We're Neo, guys. We're the one. But anyway, I just thank you guys for listening. I know I was a little rambly today. It was just a vent, something on my mind, but I really appreciate you guys listening to me, and just think we're Neo, guys. We need to escape the Matrix, and we need to do what we need to do to get out, and peace of mind and just freedom of time. So with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day and be brave.